Well, guys, welcome back to round 14, episode 9. And Tony, I was thinking all those episodes we have on YouTube, all the way up to here, kind of nice. They almost add up to 9.
These are good bricks.
Nice bricks. My husband's an expert on bricks, eh?
I never really understood that statement there. Like, I would love to ask why he wrote that.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that the address did add up to 9. Those numbers, and then once I
did it
I
as soon
found
as
it.
he said it. I looked at it. I'm like, it does add up to 9.
Yeah, I think that was just his, the bum from the neighborhood coming out
That's
a little
right.
bit.
Just,
And
yep, just
well, I mean,
Rocky.
we all love the little lines, right? So we always
Yeah.
talk about the famous lines, "Cut me, Mick," and "Go for it," and but that's one thing about the Rocky series that Sly wrote. All these little lines and all these words are his words. Every word, every sentence, always written by Sly. I think we can all appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it's sometimes, like you said, it's the little ones that you I don't want to say you forget about, but they
No.
kind of take a back seat to the motivational ones or the hardcore. I must break you, and the
Hmm.
the really well known ones. But the little things, where Paulie says to Apollo in Rocky 3, I don't sweat you. Apollo throws his gym bag on the ground.
Yeah.
Those things like that are just, or Mr. T on the steps. Hey woman, hey
Yeah.
woman. It's those little lines that just get you. And he has such a way of writing them where the emotion that he's trying to convey, be it humor
Hmm.
or intensity, is there. Is
Yeah.
there. It doesn't always have to be a motivational piece.
No, and I look to Rocky 4 when Apollo's getting ready to fight Drago, and I think you posted it the other day. He says, "I feel great, Stein. I feel like I eat nails." And he says,
Yeah.
I never tried those snails, and some in the garden, but I don't want to eat them."
And
You
that's my
know,
daughter's favorite, one of the favorite scenes in Rocky 4 too. And
yeah,
she's 19 and she still laughs at it. She
yeah.
laughs at it so hard. I mean, I even go look at her like, all right, it's not that funny. Come on.
Well, it's pretty funny,
But
nails,
it's
Stein.
just the way he says it,
Yeah,
and actually Carl Weathers even laughed about that because we told him that she's been laughing at that scene for years, and he started laughing. He's like, hey,
yeah.
you never know what's going to stick out in the movie when you do one. So
That's right. I mean, we
it's
all
good.
love to quote the lines and the little lines, and I think we've all done it, at some point in time. And like you said, your buddies in the golf course, and you're
Yeah.
reciting lines back and forth, or
Yeah.
whether get you through a midnight shift at work, and you start doing movie lines, and it's fun stuff. So
It is, and some of the good lines that are written or said are not from Rocky. Some of
yeah,
them are from the villains of Rocky, so to speak.
sure, sure,
The bad guys, and you start off with Apollo, who in the
yep,
beginning was a bad guy, up until Rocky 3. In
hmm,
Rocky, you didn't really dislike him as a bad guy villain. In Rocky 2, maybe a little more in there. But I mean, when I want the stallion in
yeah,
Rocky, and he comes out all jovial.
hmm,
And then he winds it up in Rocky 2, where he starts saying, you're going down, man, you're going down, and he's got those lines there. Of
yeah,
course, in Rocky 3, becomes friends, and they don't look back to being enemies again, so to speak.
yeah.
So
So I
he
think
was one of those bad guys that weren't a bad guy.
no, that's right. I mean, like you said, in Rocky 2, we were thinking, oh, wait a second, this isn't just fun and games anymore. He's out here to prove his point, and
Yeah,
he was
no,
getting
he
the heat,
definitely took
right?
it.
So
Yeah, he definitely took it seriously. He didn't come out being the showman. He came out and wanted to prove to the whole, like Mickey says, prove the whole world that you were nothing but a freak.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
just, something that happened.
Even
You were-
even I go back to Rocky 2, right? At the press conference, and you get another one of those little lines, and all of a sudden Paulie just blurts out his lungs he's gonna punch out, you know? And he's
Who's
like
you, Al Capone?
he just everything stops, right? Rocky just
Oh,
rolls his eyes and thinking, there's Paulie again. Like, that relationship we've talked about, like Paulie and Rocky, being there. And I mean, why would you have him at the press conference? You know he's gonna say something, right? So
I know, really. That's what it always makes me laugh about Paulie. He's the
yeah.
most, I don't want to say unpredictable character,
No,
but he's just definitely not a one that would be calm, cool, and collective if he needed to be.
that's
But
right. And the
it
other the
is.
other one I laugh at so much is, they say, you know, you think you're gonna win? And Rocky just says, I don't know. He looks pretty mad,
He looks
right?
really.
Just another little zinger in there
Remember
by
when he came
Sly.
into the ring?
Yeah,
He goes, Apollo, who he expected, was hoping he wouldn't show. You know?
wouldn't show, right? Just these little lines that maybe you didn't see it the first time, but if we've all seen it 20 or 30 times or
Yep.
50
Yep.
times or how many
And
times
you
you've
pick
seen
up
it,
on them.
and you know it's coming, and it's
Mhm.
still
It still gives
enjoyable.
you either a chuckle or a, ooh, or whatever,
Mhm.
the emotion is supposed to be.
Yeah,
But Apollo had some good lines, but then when
yeah.
he became Rocky's friend, you liked him. He wasn't really the villain anymore.
Well,
Even at the
no.
end of Rocky 2, when he won, he put
Mhm.
his hand up.
Yeah,
He was a classy sportsman
that's
and
right.
didn't look back. It wasn't until Rocky 3 where he really had a villain, and there
Well,
was a true
yeah.
dislike
Speaking of
for
villains, how about that for a villain? Anybody listening right now? We have a picture of the famous Clubber Lang at the
yeah,
steps of the Rocky statue,
Mr. T.
right? And now that was a villain, right? Like he was
Oh yeah, I
street.
hated him. Oh man,
Mhm.
I mean, if you didn't dislike him when you were watching that movie, you just
Yeah,
something was up because he played it. He played that part perfectly. He didn't like anybody.
no,
He
that's right.
wanted to just put them in the ground.
And then, you know,
Look at that
again, we
face.
get him in the ring like this,
He's got that angry face on, man. He's
right?
definitely intense, and he's
Yeah,
huge too. I mean,
no,
he's
that's right.
a huge guy. I mean, Sly found him in it was a bouncer competition
Hmm.
that they were having, and they had to throw kegs, and they had to throw a person like through a door and stuff,
Right.
and all this like a bouncer obstacle course.
So
And
that was in fact Mr. T's film debut was
yeah,
Rocky 2.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, Sly has famously picked the right people for the right
Hmm.
roles, right? And I don't want to say Dolph Lundgren later was his first role, but is lesser known, right? Like he went with lesser known athletes or
Yeah, well, he
presence
wanted
like
him
that,
to fit. He knew that character in and out. He created it. He wrote it. He
right?
knew what the character needed. He knew if he saw that character in the
Hmm.
flesh.
Yep.
So when Mr. T was there, he saw it. He's like, this is Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Like it was easier because originally he was going with some boxers,
Hmm.
and he found out that it was easier to get the guy he wanted that could convey the emotions and the attitude that he wants, and they could choreograph the fight,
Sure.
which is what they did. But
Hmm.
Mr. T, yeah, he oh man, he was in the beginning. He's yelling at Mickey,
Oh
what you
yeah.
got, I
Shut up,
want
old
him.
man.
I want him. I want. Oh, as soon as he brought up Adrian, I thought Rocky
Yeah.
was going to go ballistic.
Yeah. Yeah. But
That was not a good thing. You saw Rocky's face. I thought he was going to take his head off right there.
well, we've talked about this on the show before, famous lines from the movies, and in the premiere of Rocky 3. If anybody hasn't watched our episodes, and you should, on YouTube, 1 to 8 is now available. They add up to 9. But no, in the premiere, when that scene was happening, Mr. T's mom walked out of the theater
Yeah, you said
because she said, "No son of mine is going to talk to a woman." He says, "I'm
right.
acting. I'm
It's like
acting."
just pretend.
So right there, you've nailed your role, right?
Yep.
You have nailed your role as a villain if your own mother
Oh,
won't
you
watch you
sure?
on screen.
Sure.
So,
But he had the good lines too. I'm going to bust you up, or
mhm.
prediction pain and, hey
Yeah,
woman, hey woman. He was yelling at,
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe he went there when he was saying,
No, yeah, that's right. I
pretty,
mean, he
bring your
he
pretty
knew,
little
right?
self over to my apartment. I was like, oh, that's not the way to do this.
But that's what he had to do, right? Because
Oh, he
Rocky was going to
knew. He
retire.
knew. There's only one way I'm going to get him to go off the deep end.
To
So
retire, he wanted it to win that way. So, right?
yeah, he wanted to go through Rocky. I mean, he
Hmm.
really did. And then you have, I mean, he's a villain, but he
Hmm.
wasn't a long-term villain in Rocky 3. But you have Thunder Lips, who was
Yeah.
another ultimate bad guy, where you didn't like him. I mean, you
No.
didn't hate him like Clubber Lang, but you didn't really care for him. He came in there all cocky and wanting to hurt Rocky.
So, what do
So
you
you
think
definitely,
Rocky's thoughts are right here?
yeah,
What the hell did I get myself into? Right?
sure. Well, Rocky, until he had that first hit, he thought it was just the next, having fun, raising money.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he said, hey, first, look, I mean, he picks him up like a rag doll.
Oh, I know, eh? And then we get another one of those subtle little lines by Paulie when Thunderlips is walking into the arena, and he turns to Rocky and he just says, "Why are they carrying him?" You know,
And
Mickey says he's walking.
yeah, I like when Mickey says how much he eat,
Yeah,
and then the announcer tells how much Rocky weighs, about 202 pounds.
yeah, that was great too. So,
And
like I
Mickey just
said,
smiles,
all
laughs
these
about it.
little things that are thrown in, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I you know, the more I think about it, I'm not even sure if they're little lines you don't notice because everybody remembers these great lines, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
agree.
Thunder Lips was the ultimate male versus the
Ultimate
ultimate
male.
meatball, right?
That's
So
that's the
another,
best.
and then another film debut by Hulk Hogan,
Yep. That
right?
was his first
Handpicked by
film.
Sly, like he wrote that role
Yep.
for Hogan, and he wanted the boxer versus the wrestler for charity. So
Yep.
I think it would turned out pretty good. So,
Oh yeah. Definitely made the film.
mhm,
After that, you have Rocky Four with the ultimate villain who ranks up there with Darth Vader and Hannibal Lecter as the most, diabolical cinema villain, whatever you want to
mhm,
call him,
mhm,
Ivan Drago.
right,
And I thought I hated Clubber Lang, man. I
yeah,
hated this guy.
yeah.
When I saw that in the movies, I was like, you look at him.
Not only that, I mean, he hardly said a word, and you hated him, right?
Yeah.
Like he said maybe 5 or 6 words.
Well,
Wasn't
yeah,
allowed
the
to.
original one before the director's cut, but he also a lot of the body expressions and the facial
Mhm,
expressions is what made me dislike. Like in the press conference, he's making faces like, who are you guys? And turn around looking at Rocky and shaking his head after he knocked Apollo down,
mhm, yeah,
and then of course if he dies, he dies. I'm like, what
sure,
if he dies, he dies? What is wrong with
yeah,
you?
yeah.
So
Like no, like zero feeling, right? Like
zero
just,
emotion. He was a steroid, communist built robot.
mhm, yep. And just
And
bottom line was, I want Rocky. Soon I defeat real champion. It wasn't. He just took it as a joke, right? Like, why do I have to go through Apollo? And if you want me
yeah,
to go
well,
through
he
Apollo,
definitely
I will.
sure. Yeah, he was not happy that
Right.
Apollo had to be first.
But we do get the obviously we do get the match that everybody wanted, right?
Look at the
And
size of him.
again, the size difference, right?
A big guy.
David and
Big guy.
Goliath, right there.
Yep. Yep, like they say in the movie, a true David and Goliath.
But
And then
as Adrian says, all those fighters, you beat them with heart, right?
yep. Yep. I mean, look at this shot.
Yeah,
He hit people so I mean, you thought he'd knock his head off. I mean, even
that's
when
right.
he was hitting Apollo, you're like, "Oh my goodness."
hmm Yep.
Of course, the "I must break you" line. And do you know it took me a long time to realize that the last round of the 4 fight,
hmm
when they come to the center of the ring and they're all
Yep.
beat up and everything,
hmm
and Drago says something to
hmm
to Rocky,
Yep.
and I thought he said, "You're dead."
hmm
For years, I thought he said, "You're dead."
hmm
And he's like, "You're dead," and just hit the gloves. And then I found out later it was till the end. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I only found that out last year. I think it
Yeah.
was. It might have been the year prior. I know it
Yep.
was over the last couple of years where I found out it was till the end,
hmm
and that blew my mind. I'm like, wow, I've been
Yeah.
a fan for 40 years,
Yeah.
45 years, and I never ever knew this. So it goes to show you, as much as you watch a film, you think
Yeah.
you can't learn anything new.
Well, everybody's gonna be racing now to the Rocky Four and watching that again. Not that you need an excuse to watch Rocky Four. I
Yeah,
mean, hey,
exactly.
put it on, right? Enjoy yourself.
I watched the
Um,
director's cut last night. I was just
yeah.
flicking around, and Balboa came on. And then after
hmm
Balboa was over, I put Rocky Four director's cut on.
Right.
And so that was the ultimate villain there.
Yeah.
When you go on to Rocky Five, you have a whole different scope of a villain.
Right.
You have at first it's George Washington Duke,
hmm
who's
And
the
you know
bad
what?
guy.
I hated George Washington Duke. He just,
Oh yeah,
he was just all he is wants for money. He doesn't care about his boxers, obviously.
no, he doesn't care about anybody.
Nope.
He cares about the dollar. That's all
Yeah.
he cared about. And obviously, towards the middle and the end of the film, he was Tommy Morrison. I mean,
hmm
Tommy Morrison, but
Yeah.
uh, you know,
Tommy the Machine Gun.
Machine Gun, Tommy Gunn in the
hmm
in the film.
hmm
Tommy Morrison, the boxer slash actor.
Right.
Uh, yeah, but again, Rocky Five is a tough sell for some people.
hmm
He didn't really feel like you didn't feel like he deserved Rocky's attention.
hmm
But when he became the villain, it wasn't like you were upset about it.
No, no.
You
I picked things out of Rocky Five, and that scene that we put up with Tommy Gunn is in Andy's bar, right? He
Yeah.
just punches out Apollo, and then you get Rocky standing up, and he says, "Hey,
Punch
you
out
know,
Paulie.
it's sorry, Paulie," and he says, "You knocked him down. Why don't you try
Oh
knocking
yeah,
me
I mean
down?"
that was a great scene, great,
Yeah.
well written. It definitely got you pumped up.
Hmm.
But it put him as the villain, and even during the
Right.
fight, Rocky was trying to tell him like, "Look, man, we were supposed to be tight,
Yeah,
you and I. We
that's
were
right.
going to be all right," and he still just couldn't get it through his head.
No,
So
and I know a lot of people don't like five. It's the least favorite of the series. No, not that's not for everybody. There is some people that I've talked to that five is their favorite. Okay,
Oh, a lot. I mean,
right.
I actually didn't realize because I had posted something a while back, a long time ago,
Hmm.
about five, and it's no, anybody that knows me knows I'm not a huge fan of five, and there's definitely some parts about it that I do like.
Hmm.
There's quite a few things actually I like about it, but
Hmm.
not enough to really rank it amongst something that I would put ahead of four or
No,
three
that's right.
and so forth and so on.
Certainly not
Um,
Rocky or Rocky Two. No.
yeah, oh, absolutely not the original. But yeah, there's a lot of people that like
Hmm.
Rocky Five.
Hmm.
So like you said, it's not for everybody, but
Yeah,
it does. Some people like it.
but that movie can't. To me, that movie can't end in a ring. That has to end in the street, right?
Well, it had to. I mean, it was
He's
just
not.
no.
I mean, Rocky's not getting now. Duke says he can get the license, right? But I think just the build up and that scene that we put up,
Well,
it
even
has
the
to go in
whole
the
film. I
street.
mean, it wasn't like Rocky was training in any way,
No.
shape, or form. So it wasn't like you had the training scene. He wasn't really boxing. I guess they could have had it go into the ring
Hmm.
where Duke did set it up.
Hmm.
But again, it wouldn't have made sense
No.
with the story.
No, that's right.
It- Having it in the street made
Hmm.
Duke not get what he wanted,
No.
and you knocked Tommy Gunn on his butt.
You even get
So,
Duke saying, another little line. Balboa's a street fighter. You know,
mhm,
so
mhm.
he's in the street, and
Yeah.
let's do this. So I think I think it ended that way. Is there room for a redo Rocky Five? Absolutely, but
I would love to see a re-edit. Again,
mhm,
you can't say a director's cut because
mhm,
oddly enough, John G. Alvinson directed that one, the
right,
original Rocky director.
mhm,
It was not Sly who directed it,
mhm,
but having Sly get into it and edit it
yeah,
or whatever chooses to do,
yeah,
I would love to see something like that where it was put together a little differently.
mhm. Because
I
there's
mean,
scenes that didn't make the movie, right?
mhm.
So
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
um,
definitely deleted scenes and
mhm,
alternate scenes. There's an alternate ending. Supposedly
yeah,
he's supposed to die in Adrian's arms.
mhm,
That was the rumor that I read a few times that he was supposed to end it,
mm,
and
mhm,
the studios talked him out.
right,
Said no, Rocky doesn't die.
right.
He's a superhero
We wouldn't
technically.
have had Balboa.
No, we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have.
So
And speaking of Balboa, that's the next round of villains. But again, he was almost like Mason Dixon's probably the least villain of the
right,
group
right,
in my eyes, anyway.
yeah.
It
Well, that's right.
wasn't enough there, wasn't enough substance to really not like him.
No,
It was
I
just a
mean,
guy that was
he played, he played the cocky, I'm the champion, and what am I going to be doing fighting this
mhm.
X has been champion that I can beat with one arm, right? So, but I think he quickly realized. I think because you know at the end, maybe just because he didn't seem like a villain like Clubber Lang or
Mhm.
Drago. He took on Rocky for charity. I mean, he had to do it, right? His image was shot,
Well, he did. I
right?
mean, his image was a joke. I mean, they said he was fighting fighters
Hmm.
as that was spoon fed to him. He
Hmm.
never really had to dig down deep, like they said in the
No.
film. He
Hmm.
never, and which he did against Rocky. He had to dig down
Hmm.
deep. And
Yeah.
actually, Stallone or I'm sorry, John Rivoli posted the alternate ending to that film,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
then Sly reposted it about Rocky winning.
Yeah.
And I agree, it wouldn't have made sense to the storyline.
Hmm.
It definitely was more of the original type, like
Yeah.
Rocky wanted to just go the distance again and not look like a fool.
Hmm.
If he wanted to win, but that wasn't the goal. The goal
No,
was
that's
to
right.
have some self-respect and be standing in the end.
Hmm.
The way he went out, walking out with the whole place cheering his name, I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
the alternate ending, I mean, if it did happen, it's kind of cool. Hey, George
Hmm.
Foreman, right?
Yeah. I can't be. I can't be 100% sure about this, but I imagine they do two endings because if someone's there and they go home and tell their friend who wasn't there, say I was at the filming
Yeah,
of Balboa and he won, and and
Yeah, I'm sure
everybody and
there's a
knowing the
few
clip.
different reasons why they do some different endings. I know that when they screen them, they
Mhm.
get a
Reaction.
vibe for
Mhm.
the audience. They interview the audience, so to
Mhm.
speak, on how they felt about it. Did it end well for them, or did it
Mhm.
feel like it was still you still needed more?
Sure.
So I think there's quite a few reasons why they film a variety of endings,
Mhm.
and I'm sure that's one of them. Especially now and today, having everybody having cell phones, it could get leaked out and stuff.
Sure.
So, but you never know. I mean, the alternate endings sometimes could be better.
Mhm.
Sometimes, like I would love to see the alternate ending to Rocky 2, where
Mhm.
Adrian was there.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that.
Sure.
But
Maybe
yeah, so Mason,
maybe we'll get a collection of deleted scenes
I've
or
always I have I mean, I highly doubt Sly reads
Mhm.
my posts, but I know he's follows Round 14 podcast, so maybe
Mhm.
we'll put it up there.
Yep.
But I've always said for years I would love a massive box set,
Mhm.
of 20 DVDs or whatever it
Mhm.
takes,
All the raw footage, right?
200
Everything.
$300 box set, all the raw footage, the deleted lines, the alternate endings.
Mhm.
John Riverdale's been posting a lot of alternate deleted scenes. I mean,
Yep.
where he went to drink the eggs in Balboa and he had to spit
Mhm.
them in the sink. And
Mhm.
so it would be very, very cool to see that. But
Yeah.
Balboa's villain, in my eyes, wasn't like a villain.
No.
He didn't really have enough substance to hate the guy. You just,
No.
whatever.
That's right.
So it's definitely a little different. So,
Mhm.
and Sly obviously has his fair share of villains in his other major franchise
That's right.
on the Rambo side.
Mhm. Yeah. We start with First Blood. We start with Sheriff Teasel, right? And right from
Yeah.
the get-go, right? You know that there's going to be a problem here because the picture we have up now for people listening is Teasel pulling over Rambo on the bridge, right? And
Hmm.
after he gets him out, and sends him on his way, and he turns around back into the town, right? I mean, Rambo pushed it too, right? Like he wasn't innocent in this. He could have just kept walking.
He could have, but I
But
mean,
in
Teasel
his
definitely
mind,
pushed his button.
he didn't think he did anything wrong, right? At this
No, and he
point, he didn't
didn't.
think he'd do anything wrong.
He didn't.
So,
Teasel was one of the better villains because he was supposed to be. I mean, he's a sheriff,
yeah,
so he's not supposed to be a villain.
nope,
But he definitely played. I mean, he was that cocky tough guy. Don't you tell me what to do.
yeah.
This is my town. I mean, Brian Denny, he played it to the letter. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you just, oh man, he I did not like him whatsoever.
Hmm.
He definitely
No,
played it well. I mean, the
that's
other
right.
sheriffs and it's not sheriffs, but the other officers in that sheriff department, I wouldn't consider them to be villains because they were just following suit with Teasel. So he was really just the main villain.
Well, I think Galt was a bit of an ass, right? So he
Yeah,
was
Galt was definitely
giving them a hard time, and then
giving
they
a
get
hard
out
time
the
and
fire hose and
get him behind the ears,
mhm,
and stuff like that. But yeah, he
yeah.
definitely didn't care for
He did try and kill him, right? So at one point they were all hunting him, and Galt was trying to kill him. I don't think Teasel wanted to kill him. Teasel wanted to bring him in.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Teasel wanted to
Oh
have
yeah,
his
no,
day in
Teasel. I
court.
agree. Teasel didn't want to kill him.
Hmm.
Teasel wanted to win by putting him in
Well,
jail.
until the end, and
Yeah,
then he wanted to kill him,
exactly.
right?
Then he went ballistic, so that was
Yeah,
too different.
yeah. But
But
Rambo First Blood Part 2, and I know we've had that discussion. Yes, it's Rambo First Blood Part 2, not Rambo 2.
that is correct.
Um, but quite a few villains in that, and what are supposed to be adversaries turns out to be villains, right?
Yeah,
Starting
yeah,
with Murdoch, right?
yeah.
He's supposed to be working for this guy, and it turns out,
How great is that scene though when he's clinching the microphone? His forearm
oh
is ripped,
yeah,
he's sweaty and veined up, and I'm coming
hmm
for you, Murdoch. I mean,
yeah. That's a great, you get the lightning in the background,
yep,
and yeah, that's a great. And then you've got Erickson, right?
yeah, Martin Cove.
Martin Cove always seems to get those. I don't want to say villain roles, but
Well, he
like
does. I
the
mean,
heel or the bad guy, right?
yeah,
He
Sensei
plays them
Kreese
so
is
well.
definitely not a good guy. I mean, if you follow Karate Kid and
Yeah.
or Cobra Kai,
Hmm.
Martin Cove, Sensei Kreese is definitely not a. He's definitely a villain, and no doubt
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. And then we got the Colonel. Is it Povsky?
Podsky,
Yeah. So the Russians again, right? So it's
Novsky.
either another villain, right?
Yeah, they had a lot in Rambo 3,
Yeah.
2. Right. They had a lot in that one. Now this one here, he had
That's
that
right.
bow and arrow from about 200 yards out.
Right. Yeah, he was you know, like he was always just so that one is Lieutenant Tay, right?
Hmm.
That we have up there now. So Rambo 2 was full of them, right? So like you said, even Murdoch and Erickson, these guys left him, right? They could
Hmm.
have picked him up and they left him, and you know, you get Troutman saying, you know, you're the one making the mistake, right? So is Rambo, and you don't want to cross this guy. So, but
No,
moving
no,
on to Rambo 3, right? We get another
no.
Russian villain, right?
Yeah, this guy, you wanted to see him blow up. He was like,
Yeah,
you just wanted to see him meet a bad demise because he was
yeah.
just he played it
But
well though.
no, that's right. And one of the scenes that I love in Rambo 3 is when he has Troutman, you know, interrogating Troutman, because
Hmm.
Rambo has stormed the gate, so he doesn't know who he is, but he knows he's an American. He's after helping Troutman.
Hmm.
You know, he just says to Troutman, "Who do you think this man is? God?" Right? And
And
Troutman's reply
yep,
is, "No, God would have mercy. He
yep.
won't." I mean, I've got a shirt that says that, people.
That's a great. That's it's come on. That's a fantastic line.
Right? Yeah.
Fantastic line because it's true too. I mean,
Hmm.
Rambo's not going to have mercy and bring this guy
No,
in. I
no,
mean, there's only one way you're leaving this
no. And
situation.
he says, you know, you won't have to find him; he'll find you.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't think he believes him. Obviously, he's a one man, right?
No, why would you? You're a
Hmm.
military man too. Why would you
Yeah.
think only one guy could do this?
Hmm. But we all know how that works out, and it
Yeah,
doesn't work out too good for him. So,
not very well.
and then moving on to Rambo or John Rambo, whatever preference you
Yeah,
have.
that's up for debate there. That had a poster that said Rambo, there's a
Yep,
poster that said John Rambo.
Major Tint, right?
So yeah,
Another
this guy.
just you just these people that play these roles do such a fantastic job. You just hate them so bad, right? So,
They do. They know how to play it and get under your skin, and
mhm.
they don't want to be liked.
Well,
That's
they
not the
so Rambo took a really a dark turn, right? Like it was a lot darker because they're burning villages and killing families and children, and like
yeah,
it really got sensitive, right?
and the
So,
killing was severely more graphic
mhm, that's right.
in that one, which,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Either
Hmm.
people like it or they don't like it.
No, that's right. Then you get so Last Blood, right? So Last Blood was
Last
kind of
Blood.
a I don't know if Last Blood was a surprise for us or just, you know, I'm not sure if everybody expected it, but we're happy that we got it. Another Rambo, right?
I was. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw it. I think when he saw the success of
Yep.
some of the, Creed movies and stuff, and that his characters were still relevant,
Yep.
and if he made the story relevant to the times, it would work, and it did. I mean, the
Yeah.
Mexican cartel, the trafficking of people,
That's right.
the
Oh,
girls.
it was great. Like it was set, you know, the timeline was great and how
Yeah.
we did it, right? So and you see an aging Rambo, right? That
Hmm.
isn't, you know, obviously the reflexes aren't there and
Yeah, he's not a 30-year-old guy or
mhm,
whatever age he is, where he's a lot younger. These guys are now a lot younger, and
right.
they all got around him and beat him up, and you were wondering like, how's this going to work out here? But
Hmm.
obviously, you knew Rambo wouldn't go down like that. But it was those two guys. Him, that one there was Victor, and then the
Yeah.
brother was
It's
Hugo,
Hugo. Hmm.
and the brother was the one where that was the last one that he got. And
Yeah.
that guy there, Hugo, was just, I mean, again, they were just these cocky, arrogant,
Hmm.
you can't think you're going to do this to me. We're the Mexican cartel
Hmm.
and blah, blah, blah.
But I mean, again, Rambo's psyche, I don't think it ever got repaired, right? So, and he's just pushed over the edge with his, um, you know, his friend's daughter, right? So, and by that point, he's just blinders on again, right? So, by any
Yeah,
means
absolutely.
necessary.
I mean, he built the underground tunnels. So
Hmm.
obviously it was not something that was ever
Nope.
away from his mind.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, he felt he needed those tunnels for
Yeah,
one
and
form
some
or another.
violent
Yeah.
scenes in John and excuse me, Last Blood.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was definitely that's how you'd want to go take
And he
care of
went
people
back
that
a little
killed
bit
your
old
mom.
school, right, to First Blood, where with the forks and the knives
booby trapping
and booby
things,
traps,
and
right? So,
unexpected weapons and
mhm,
stuff. But
mhm.
but I mean, hey, those guys took my daughter and then they wound up killing her.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
no,
way
that's
they
right.
go. If I had the
Mhm.
training.
I, you know, I don't want to I don't want to compare him to a vigilante at that point, but he was one man show again, right? Rambo.
He was. I mean,
Mhm.
and technically was a vigilante. I mean, he didn't go to the
Mm.
police. He didn't try
Nope,
to have
that's
anybody
right.
else find the girl. So
Yeah,
he was definitely a vigilante.
yeah.
The only difference between being some vigilantes kill people, most vigilantes kill people,
Hmm.
and the age old vigilante, his code is to never kill people.
And some of them wear masks,
And some of them wear masks.
right?
Exactly.
So
So,
people are trying to figure out where we're going, but where
come on,
where
guys.
we're
What
going,
vigilante wears a mask and his motto is that he does not kill people?
right?
That would be Batman.
One of the biggest series of all time, right?
Oh yeah.
Batman. So we talked about franchises last week. We said we left a couple out because we were going to they were just too good or too big to brush by, and we thought we'd have some fun and talk about the Batman series that goes back to 1966 with
Yeah, I mean, the
the
66
TV
movies
shows.
came from the TV show, which
Yeah,
was very campy, colorful, pow, zap,
yeah,
colorful, villains and corny
yeah.
lines, it's with Robin and so
Adam
holy
West as
coconuts,
Batman,
Batman.
right? So and
Yeah, I mean,
Burgess
hey,
Meredith
I
as the
watched it every
Penguin,
day as a kid, so
right?
I'm not going to say I don't like it.
And how good
Burgess
was Burgess
Meredith as the
Meredith, right?
Penguin. Yeah, that's the funny part too. They had these big. I mean, these are big names that play these
Hmm.
villains. Cesar
Sure.
Romero was not an unknown. You
Hmm.
had a bunch of different Catwomans. You had Lee Merriweather. You had
Hmm.
Eartha Kitt. You had Julie Newmar.
Hmm.
Penguin was obviously Burgess Meredith.
Hmm.
Riddler was Frank Gorshin.
Yeah, these were big actors, right?
Yeah, Vincent
Back then.
Price was Egghead. I mean,
Hmm.
it was
Yeah.
it was, it
But
was
1989, they brought out the feature film, right?
yeah,
With Michael
1989 was the
Keaton.
Michael Keaton movie, and that definitely was a turn for we're not going to make this a comic book
Yeah,
film.
I'm gonna put that back up again,
We're going to
just
make
because
it
look at the,
darker.
Kim Basinger, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. This came out in 1989, and it was unbelievably huge, right?
Oh, massive. This movie
So,
was so big. Jack
mhm,
Nicholson did it for scale
yeah,
and took
another Rocky
yeah,
alumni, right? Billy D.
pretty much. He
Williams.
took it for scale. He said he'll take his points on the back end, and he
Hmm.
made $60 million off of that film
Hmm.
by taking it off the back end.
Yeah,
That's how successful the film was.
yeah.
And it was everywhere. Batman was everywhere.
Hmm.
And it was definitely, they made it darker. They made it more realistic, so to
Hmm.
speak,
Yeah.
where it seemed like Batman could live in the real world type of
Hmm.
deal. And I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. That was one of my favorite Batman
Sure.
movies in general,
Hmm.
especially with Nicholson's performance as the
Oh yeah,
Joker.
he was so good, right? He was so over the top
Mm-hmm.
in that movie. Whether he was pre Joker or when he turned into the Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was still that evil. He didn't sway from how much of a villain he was,
No, not
right?
at all. Not
And
at
then
all.
we get Michael Keaton returning again,
Yeah, I mean, you with the
right?
success of any film that it
Hmm.
does that much of a success that there's going to be a sequel.
Right.
And
Michelle
sure enough,
Pfeiffer
it was. This
and
one
Danny
came out
DeVito.
in 92, I believe. 92.
Hmm.
And it was the most perfect cast villains.
Yeah.
They were just amazing. Just did a great job. Fun storyline. Again, Tim Burton at the helm of
Hmm.
directing made it dark.
Hmm.
It was actually a little too dark. They
Yeah.
first said McDonald's pulled out of the Happy Meal deal.
Yeah.
The film was too dark. They didn't
Yeah.
want it to go to kids.
Yeah.
But again, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Hmm.
Uh, a great, great take on it,
Yeah. And then in
and
that
it did
series,
very well.
we got um we got two more Batmans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And the cast didn't slow down, right? Like they kept adding to the cast, right?
No, they kept adding, and they had big names on them too. And
Hmm.
then a lot of controversy of why Tim Burton didn't do
Hmm.
Forever. They took away a lot of his, creative
Sure.
uh, creativity, I guess you could speak. And Michael
Hmm.
Keaton pulled out because
Yeah.
Tim Burton pulled out.
Hmm.
So Batman Forever can hold its own. It's
Hmm.
definitely campy. It's
Yeah.
definitely a little more of the 60s style of the colors and the over the top Jim
Hmm.
Carrey Riddler,
Sure.
who originally was supposed to be Robin Williams.
Hmm.
They offered him that role. And Two-Face with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy Lee Jones can act and do anything, but that,
Sure.
but it definitely took a different turn
Hmm.
with that film. With that
Sure.
film, it definitely
Yeah.
didn't do as, and it did well. It did
Hmm.
well. I think
Yeah.
Val Kilmer's Batman. It did well at the box office, but it's definitely a lot more of a lighter, campier version of it
Hmm.
of
Yep.
of the series, and then it follows suit with many Batman fans will say is the worst film of the Batman franchises.
Hmm.
George Clooney himself said he killed the Batman franchise
Yeah.
after doing Batman and Robin. And I'd have to agree with him.
Yeah.
he definitely
Yeah.
he definitely put a nail in that coffin. It was
Hmm.
corny, stupid, campy.
Yeah. They're
It
just
was
going off the name, right? They're just saying, let's try and cash in on one more.
I mean, Batman had a credit card that said,
Hmm.
it was a Batman card. He doesn't leave home without it.
Yeah.
Arnold's Mr. Freeze and telling everybody to chill while he's shooting people. It definitely went in a direction that was
Yeah.
not a direction you wanted to go.
Yeah. I've seen it. It's not the first one I'll reach for. That's
No,
for sure.
no.
I've watched it, a couple times. Fun movie.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thought in it. But definitely
Yeah, and
doesn't
again,
hold
if
up.
it entertains you and you like it, hey, good. That's awesome.
Sure. That's right.
That's what the movie's for. The more movies for
Hmm.
entertaining. Doesn't have to be you don't. Oh, that couldn't happen. It doesn't matter.
That's right. So
But
now that's not the first time they redid that series. So the next time
no, with
they
that
took
one,
a
they
look at
kind
it,
of set Batman back a while.
right?
It's, they were not touching Batman for a
No,
little
that's right.
while. They wanted everybody to get Batman and Robin out of their head before they
Hmm.
approached it again.
So then
And
we fast
but
forward a
when
few
they did,
years.
yeah. But when they did, they fast forward and they went to Batman Begins
Yeah.
with Christian Bale
Hmm.
as Bruce Wayne Batman, and Morgan Freeman was in it, and
Yeah.
Alfred was Michael
Michael
Caine.
Caine. Yeah. He was my favorite Alfred
I
by
agree.
far. I
Yeah,
love
I
Michael
agree.
Caine. I love Michael Caine as an actor. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a
I
little bit
agree.
biased, but Michael Caine was great. Morgan Freeman as Lucius was unbelievable.
Morgan Freeman could read the phone book,
Right.
and I'd watch it.
Yeah.
So
So he was great. And you know what? Christian Bale, I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne.
he did a great job of it because he did play the Bruce Wayne role the way it should have been played,
Hmm.
and then obviously that was the first one, hence Batman Begins,
Yep.
where he was coming into his own and learning how to make these,
Yeah.
weapons and
We never
everything
got
that was
that before,
happening.
right? We never seen how he became Batman, and we knew
No,
he had the
because
money.
correct, because in '89 Batman was already Batman.
Hmm.
Bruce Wayne was already Batman. He
Hmm.
didn't become Batman in that film.
Hmm.
In none of the films did he become Batman.
No.
And he learned how to fight in that
Hmm.
film, with Liam Neeson as
Yeah, he was great too, right?
Ra's al Ghul. Um, it was not as successful financially
No.
or box office wise as the next one, which was The Dark Knight,
Oh my goodness.
which
Right.
everybody knows, and everybody argues. I shouldn't say argue, but arguably
Hmm.
one of the best comic book movies made,
That's right.
without question. I mean, between the unbelievable Oscar-winning role of Heath Ledger as
Sure.
Joker, Christian Bale again back as Batman,
Hmm.
storyline, the way it was done, it was
Hmm.
very realistic.
Yep.
It had it all. It had
Hmm.
everything. It had it all. And then they
Yeah,
followed.
that really puts up the debate, right? Which was the better Joker, Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger, right? It just
Well, and
they're
again,
totally
I mean,
different.
very, very different Jokers. I mean, the Jack Nicholson Joker was a little more flamboyant,
Hmm.
a little more sarcastic and funny, I guess, so to
Yep.
speak. Now, if you're a comic book reader of Batman, the Joker is definitely a maniacal
Hmm.
killer.
Hmm.
He does, there is no humor in anything he does,
Hmm.
like Jack Nicholson's character.
Sure.
So to play it to the T of the comic books, Heath Ledger definitely pulled it. I mean, he was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
was
It's
he
funny.
was
I like both series.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I really like Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and I like that. Michelle Pfeiffer, and I just like that. But it's funny to watch it a different. time and a different series. I really like the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, and even when they followed up with the Dark Knight Rises, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, when they had the Catwoman coming in and
mhm.
Bane, and again, those that have read the comic books know Bane breaks Batman's back, and
Yeah.
he's one of those. And the funny part about it is that Bane was in Batman Forever.
Hmm.
He was
Hmm. Yeah.
Poison Ivy's sidekick, so to
Sure.
speak. But again, a more realistic
Hmm.
Batman, a a darker
Yeah, a lot
Batman.
darker, right? You find him. He does break Batman, really.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and you're thinking, Jesus, he might not get out of this. This is not good, right? So,
yeah. It was very darker film, darker theme. It was so well done. It really
mm,
was so done. Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale. I mean, they were
hmm,
just. And Christian Bale actually said if Christopher Nolan wanted to do another Batman,
right.
as long as Nolan was the director, that
Hmm.
Bale would do it. I
Yep.
don't really think he'd have anywhere to go with it though, because the way Rises ends,
Hmm.
it wrapped it up.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great how it ended.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Wayne. Again, guys, these movies are old, so if we're giving
Yeah.
away anything, stop the show, watch tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah. Pause. Hit pause. Go
Hit
watch
pause,
them. Come
go
back.
go 2.5 hours and watch it
Yeah,
and come
that's
back.
right.
But yeah, the way it ended, it wrapped it up. It
Mhm.
just wrapped it up. You really couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere. I mean, you could, of course, you could introduce, the Riddler or Penguin. They didn't do that, but they did do that. Again, we waited a little bit longer for another Batman to come out.
Sure.
But that was kind of not really a Batman film where you had Justice League and Batman versus Superman.
Right.
Now, the Batman versus Superman that's been in developmental hell in Hollywood for decades.
Hmm.
And I personally think Ben Affleck did a great job as Batman and Bruce Wayne.
You know what?
The
I was surprised. When they announced Ben Affleck, I was like, "There's no way
Sure,
in hell he's gonna pull off Batman.
yeah,
He's not gonna do it." Just because I like Batman, I'm gonna watch it. It's
yeah.
like trying something new, and okay, let's try it. And you know what? I agree with you. I don't think he was horrible.
No, no, no. And the Batman that he played from the comic books was a perfect way he played it.
Hmm.
By the time when Ben Affleck is playing Batman, Batman
Hmm.
has already been Batman
Hmm.
in Gotham for over 20 years.
Sure.
So he's in his 40s now,
Hmm.
42 or whatever he is. He's grizzled. That's why he has that branding bat on the
Hmm.
villains. He's throwing them to the ground pretty damn hard. He's
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
he's not killing anybody, but he's definitely not just tying them up
No.
and saving them for the police.
Hmm.
He's kind of aggravated. I've been doing this long. I really haven't made a dent.
Hmm.
And so he did play it well. He played it very well. I was
Yep.
really disappointed that there wasn't going to be a Batman solo film with Ben Affleck. And
Right.
then of course you have him in the Justice League films, but he
Hmm.
never did get that single shot
No.
at a solo film, which
No, that's
I
right.
think he would have done well. But the solo film he was supposed to do, so to speak, is the 2022 The Batman.
Hmm.
And now this one goes in a direction that we haven't seen. Now you have
Right.
Robert Pattinson as Batman, which again,
Yep.
people have a problem with that.
Hmm.
He is in the second year of being Batman, so he's
Sure.
not in
Yeah.
the very beginning,
Yep.
but he's been Batman for a year now.
Yeah.
So he's starting his sophomore year as Batman. So it's
Hmm.
definitely a different take.
I
Uh,
liked it, the fact that he was documenting everything, and he
mhm,
called it the Batman experiment, right?
mhm,
I found that interesting. What I didn't like so much was I found, maybe just because I grew up with Michael Keaton's Batman, and then you got Christian Bale's Batman. To me, I found it a bit boring, and I don't want to
mhm,
say that in a sense where I didn't like it so much. It
mhm.
wasn't. It was darker. It just seemed like he was Batman all the time, day
Yeah,
or
he
night.
definitely had very minimal Bruce Wayne screen time, but I
Mhm.
think that was because he was so young.
Yeah.
The role that in the books where it's called year one,
Mhm.
he completed year one of being
Sure.
Batman.
Mhm.
So he's 24 or whatever age he is
Mhm.
in that where he is really young. So he's
Mhm.
not the playboy philanthropist that we
Nope.
see the Bruce Wayne's be. So I guess maybe they didn't want to show it much. They wanted him to be
Mhm.
more of and he was more of the detective Batman.
Sure.
He came to the edge of the building that one time and kind of was like, whoa, holy crap. So you can still, he's working out his heights,
Mhm.
his fighting,
Yep.
his stuff that he's got going on. Um, I liked it and I didn't like some things about it, but I did like the movie overall.
Mhm. Mhm.
I was the Riddler character that I liked it, but the costume for me was a little I don't know. It was just it
Mhm.
went completely in a complete different
Sure.
way.
I think this is my opinion. I think just because this is what the fifth or sixth time they've done Batman, they're just trying to do something totally different, right?
Yeah, and they did.
They don't want to just have the same thing over and over
Right.
again. They
Right. And I
want a
get
different,
that.
like, and I get that
I
too.
mean, it wasn't bad
Mhm.
costume but it was just a little odd.
Yeah.
Um, Catwoman wasn't really truly Catwoman, so to speak. Like she did have a costume, but she didn't.
Mhm.
Colin Farrell did a phenomenal job as Penguin. I thought he
Mhm.
played a great
Mhm.
role. He
Mhm.
did that very well.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. Now, of course, again, that movie did phenomenal at the box office and
Yeah.
critics. So there is going to be a sequel of some
Mhm.
kind,
Mhm.
and we'll see where that goes. There's also talk that the Flash movie that's coming out next year, I think it
Mhm. Mhm.
um, is deals with an alternate timeline, and this is confirmed that they Michael Keaton is Batman in that timeline.
Mm. Mhm.
So in that film, we will see a older
Mhm.
60-year-old Michael Keaton as Batman, or so
Mhm.
however old he is. I don't know how old he is.
Mhm.
Um, where he goes from there, I don't know if it's a one-time thing or.
Mhm.
But and also too, Ben Affleck is in that one as Batman as well.
Right.
So it's an alternate timeline where they go to the Ben Affleck world, they
Yep.
go to the Michael Keaton world.
Mhm.
We'll see. We'll see how it's
So
done.
let me ask you then. So we won't go with the TV show. We'll just do the movies. Which is your favorite Batman series?
Well, I wouldn't. As far as the series go, as far as lumping it all together, as far as the
Mhm.
acting, the action, the grittiness of the film, the comic book accuracy, I would have to say the Nolan series,
Mhm.
the Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Mhm.
Liking it for my own personal memory, younger, enjoying it, seeing it for the first time on the big screen would definitely be the Keaton films,
Mhm.
not the series of that film,
Mhm. No,
but
no, that's right. The
Batman and
first, yeah,
Batman
that's right.
Returns.
Mhm.
Batman Returns, I mean, Batman, but those two
Mhm.
would be my favorite as far as just nostalgia,
Yeah.
you know, more comic book
Mhm.
like, less realism.
Mhm.
But as far as a realistic and just a gritty, dark crime drama, so to speak, that happens to have a
Mhm.
detective who dresses up like a bat would be the
Right.
Nolan series.
I mean, we even got Gotham, right? The TV series, they put that out. So
Mhm.
at least I'll say this. The one thing that you mentioned earlier, like that Carl Weathers had told you and your daughter, did you like it?
Yeah,
That's all that matters. So
that is all that matters. If
the
somebody said
thing
to me
is,
their favorite is Batman and Robin,
mhm,
okay,
yeah,
you
the
know.
thing is, at least with Batman, you have choices, right? You're gonna have people that like the Robert Pattinson, the Batman. You're gonna
Well,
have
think
people
about
that
it. I
like
mean,
the
you got
Christian Bale.
89 to now.
Hmm.
Okay, so you have a lot of different decades of fans of that
Hmm.
Batman.
Hmm.
You have our age group that likes the 89 Keaton.
Hmm.
You have a little bit of a younger age group that maybe likes Val Kilmer.
Hmm.
You have the younger age group, maybe in their 30s, that likes the Nolans
Hmm.
series, Christian Bale. Obviously, this one here is going to be even a younger group.
Yeah, we'd like to
In
see
their 20s.
what you guys think. Leave us a message in the chat or on Round 14 on Instagram, and we'll post what's your favorite Batman, and we'd like to see some of the answers and the reasons why.
Yeah, yeah, because I
People
mean,
listening
it
on the
could be for
network.
whatever reason you like. I mean, with the latest entry with the Batman, Patterson has the best of both worlds. You got all the
Yeah.
little girly Twilight lovers, and then you got the guys that want to see an action film. So
Yeah.
it's and they're all probably in their 20s.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
they got a lot of different decades of Batman that those generations like,
Hmm.
and that's the reasons why they like them. So it's
Sure.
there's no
Yeah.
right or wrong answer to which one you like.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I think it was, good discussion on the Batman. I mean, like I said, I hold Batman on a pretty high pedestal.
It's my favorite. I mean, I've loved
gadgets,
it since I was
the
a kid. I
cars,
mean,
right?
yeah, even a little kid. Like I said, I did watch the Adam West series.
Hmm.
I used to read the comic books. I had a bunch of different Matchbox Batmobiles, and
Sure.
it's and the thing that I liked about Batman that turned me on to Batman the most was he had no superpowers.
No.
He like Ben Affleck says in "What's your superpower?" I'm rich. That's that's his superpower.
Yeah.
But he was just a guy. He trained
Hmm.
hard. He learned how to fight. He was a detective. He studied this. So in a kid's mind, I could be Batman.
Hmm.
I could
Yeah.
train and do this and do that, and I could be Batman. I don't need
Hmm.
to come from Krypton. I don't need to be getting bitten by a spider. I could be Batman.
Yeah.
So it was realistic to me in that manner when I was young.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, he did get, you saw him with the marks on him. You saw him with the pain, right? The bruises
Oh,
and
he
the
definitely
bumps. And
learned how to fight the hard way. That's for sure.
hmm
No, people didn't take pity on him.
yeah. I look back at, the Christian Bale series and Michael Caine in Batman Begins when they pinned him in the house. It's on fire. And Alfred says, what's the use of doing all those bloody push-ups? You can't move a log off yourself.
It's so great. That's okay.
He was
Again,
so
great
good.
line.
Right.
Great line.
Yeah. So I thought maybe we might do a little trivia, and we've added a little bit of a music here. So I'm going to play a little quick video here, and we'll get into some trivia. How about that, eh?
That's got 80s blockbuster written all over it, man.
If that doesn't want to make you grab your rollerblades and head to the rink, I don't know what does, right? So you're going around
trivia time,
going
bat
around
trivia.
the circle. So what do you got for Batman trivia?
I have 5 questions.
Okay.
Like we always do. We do the 5.
Okay.
You want me to go first? You want to go first?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I'll start off with something relatively easy. I think it is easy anyway. Batman.
You always say that, and then
it's
anyways,
not.
Go ahead. I get nervous when you say I got an easy one.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Okay.
I'll just read the question. All right, 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
Who killed Bruce's parents?
Who killed Bruce's parents? Jack Napier.
There you go. See, I told you it was easy.
Yeah, I was going to say the Joker, but it wasn't really the Joker yet, right?
So see? Jack Napier.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to flip a question to you then.
Okay.
This is an easy one for you. What were the names of his parents?
Oh, that's it.
Of Bruce
That is an
Wayne's
easy
parents.
one. That is an easy one.
Yeah.
Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Okay. All right. Easy. See?
Yeah.
We ease into it. All right. Go ahead.
Ease into it. There you go. Okay. All righty. So let's see here. The Selena Kyle in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Name the actor and the character name of her boss.
Of her boss. Oh, Jesus. I know where the character was he was Max.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember his last name.
First name is Max. That's correct.
Yeah. And the hell
get a quarter point there.
Quarter point. We're doing really. I don't think we're okay.
We got first and last name actor, first and last name character. Okay,
right,
I'll do
quarter
that
point.
for you.
And the actor was.
Come on, you got it.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
No good.
No.
Max Schreck.
Yeah.
And Christopher Walken.
Oh, Christopher Walken. Jesus. See? Yeah. All right.
Selena.
Yeah. Oh, he was so good in that role, right?
Oh, he was awesome.
All right. Gonna do with that question, but you already answered it earlier. So okay. All right. In Batman Forever.
Okay.
I'll give you a hard one.
Okay.
Two-Face has hench women. What are their names?
That's a good one. Do you want the actresses' names or the characters?
Just the characters' names.
Okay. Sugar and Spice.
Sugar and Spice. Very good.
Drew Barrymore and Debbie Mazur.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
I have actually a Batman Forever question for you next. See that? It worked right in there. What was the character name of Nicole Kidman's character
Nicole Kidman. Oh,
in Batman Forever? Let me give you a hint. She was a doctor.
yeah, I knew she was a doctor. I believe she was a psychiatrist. Was she not?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's all I know.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. It's
I
got
mean,
it's something corny. I know it's something corny. God, you think I would study these, right? Obviously, I'm not cheating
how
people
can you
because I don't
study
know.
40 years worth of
Yeah,
Batman? You
well,
know,
that's
it's
it, right?
a
So,
little much. Chase Meridian. Dr.
Chase
Chase
Meridian.
Meridian.
No, okay, all right. Since we're getting a little harder here now, okay.
Hey, I only have one more than you.
Oh yeah.
You have one, I have two, right? Didn't I
Okay.
get two? I think so, right?
Was Batman Returns set at Christmas time?
Was it set at? Yes, it was.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy one. All right. Okay. So here I got a hard one. I got a hard one for you.
Okay.
So 1989's Batman
Okay.
has a significant anniversary. What is that significant anniversary? Not in the movie, but what in significance in real life?
In what is Batman's anniversary? Oh, that's the 50th anniversary. The
Yeah,
Batman
good.
existing.
Yeah. May 1939 is when it debuted, right? So
yeah, Bob Kane.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
All right. What is Poison Ivy's name in Batman and Robin?
The character?
Yeah. Uma Thurman played. I know she played Poison Ivy.
Oh yeah.
But what was her name as the character before she
Jesus
became
Christ.
Poison Ivy?
Tony, I was going to say Poison Ivy, but I thought I was going to say Uma Thurman, but I don't know.
I didn't mean to go so hard. I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's
kind of easy.
I guess I just watched Batman all these years, right? Just, Batman. So
Pamela Isley.
Oh, see, these are good. See, when you said these are easy questions, I was all worried.
I didn't say they were easy questions. I said the first one was easy, and you
All
got
right.
the first one.
Yeah. All right. So
I only have one more.
All right. I got
and this
one.
one you should get.
All right. Go ahead, and then I'll ask my last one because it's
okay. All right. In the Dark Knight, finish this Joker quote. What doesn't kill you
only makes you stronger. No, not stronger. Stranger. I was going for dramatic.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Stranger. You got 2 out of 5.
All right. So in
that's not too bad.
Justice League.
Ooh.
6 members of the Justice League.
Oh, you might get me here.
Can you name them?
All right. So we got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash,
one more.
Aquaman.
Boom.
The
Stallion is on fire tonight. So
I know my Batman.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. All right.
I'm 56. I probably got 50 years of Batman fandom. So
there you are. Okay. Well, since you did so well there,
maybe
I can pull out.
I don't
know where
Let's go into the trivia Bible.
I went to I don't know where I put it. Jesus. All right. Okay. So since you did so well on the Batman, I thought we'd pull out my Rocky trivia book from our buddy Rocco.
Good job, Rocco. You got me last week.
Rocco, like what is he? 13 years old, and he wrote a book when he was 12. I mean, when I was 12,
I have no idea.
Trying to worry about my chain coming off on my bike.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't understand, but good for him. That's okay.
So let me ask you.
Go to Amazon and buy Rocco's Rocky trivia book.
Rocky 4 questions.
Okay.
So where is the fight between Apollo and Drago?
What, casino or Las Vegas? MGM.
And okay, there. Yeah. I'd like to warm you up with an easy one, right? So, all right.
See what happens when you win one. You get these really
all right.
He's digging deep now.
So, true or false?
Oh boy.
Drago did not throw a punch at Creed in the first round. True or false?
False.
And the answer, of course, is false. We all know that.
When you first said that, I thought I was wrong. I'm like, wait a minute. I know he threw at least one punch.
All right. What do we got here? I'm just flipping through the book here. Okay.
Oh boy. The pressure on the spot.
Okay, so we got one more. We'll go all the way back to Rocky 2.
All right.
So Rocky 2, he's in the bed, and the nurse comes up and asks him for his autograph. Says, "My kid would die for your autograph." What does Rocky sign? The autograph.
What does he write?
What does he write?
To my good friend Charlie Flynn, who I don't even know. They didn't write the "who I don't even know" part, but
Good night, everybody. No stumping the stallion this week, Rocco. I'm gonna have to look in the book a little
I
better.
know he's gonna have to dig in that book deeper.
Yeah, no,
but
we all enjoy the trivia, guys, and
it's fun.
We have some fun, and
Hey,
you guys
last
are
week
probably
I
screaming the
bombed.
answers. Yeah,
You know?
no, it's good. But great show, Tony. I always had fun, talking a little Rocky, talking a little Rambo, and one of the biggest series, the franchises. Depends on which one you like, guys. I mean, they're all there, right? So, but anyways, this was fun, Tony, and like we said before, we are on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network.
Yeah, that's our
streaming
audio podcast.
Yeah, you can listen to us on the road, and we really enjoy being on there with some great podcasts. Again, we have an upcoming episode. It's a long road where we break down First Blood. So this was good.
It was good. Always good. Always a fun time. And guys, like we said, throw in some ideas if you want for some episodes. I mean, Tim and I have a backlog of episodes we're going to cross the bridge on each one of them sooner or later, but you never know. You might have something out there that'll spark our interest as well and say, hey, yeah, let's do this. It doesn't have to be Rocky or Rambo, obviously. It could be anything in the action world or the 80s world or the Stallone world, wherever you want it to be. But always a pleasure. Love doing the show with you, brother. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Go to YouTube and watch the past episodes. And then if you watch those and this one, it equals out to 9. So look at that.
Good. All right, guys. Well, thanks very much. And we'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.